Well, hey everybody, welcome to another session of Care for the Soul. And this week I want to talk about feelings. Yes, you heard it right, feelings. David wrote in Psalm 139 verse 23, and he said, "Search me, O God, and know my heart. Test me and know my anxious thoughts. Point out anything in me that offends you, and lead me along the path of everlasting life." You know, in this psalm, David gives God an invitation to dive into the recesses of his heart because he knows that God truly knows him and knows what he needs. And I believe that in this season, we need God to dive into the recess of our hearts because your feelings may be different to what you experienced before COVID. In fact, the New York Times wrote an article describing what much of the world is feeling. In it, they wrote this. They said, "At first, I didn't recognize the symptoms that we all had in common. Friends mentioned that they were having trouble concentrating. Colleagues reported that even with vaccines on the horizon, they weren't excited about 2021. A family member was staying up late to watch National Treasure again, even though she knows the movie by heart. And instead of bouncing out of bed at 6 a.m., I was lying there until 7, playing words with friends. It wasn't burnout, we still had energy. It wasn't depression, we didn't feel hopeless. We just felt somewhat joyless and aimless. It turns out that there's a name for that. It's called languishing. Languishing is a sense of stagnation and emptiness. It feels as if you're muddling through your days, looking at your life through a foggy windshield. And it might be the dominant emotion of 2021. Languishing is the neglected middle child of mental health. It's the void between depression and flourishing, the absence of well-being. You don't have symptoms of mental illness, but you're not the picture of mental health either. You're not functioning at full capacity. Languishing dulls your motivation, disrupts your ability to focus, and triples the odds that you'll cut back on work. It appears to be more common than major depression, and in some ways, it may be a bigger risk factor for mental illness. Hey, you might be identifying with this article right now, and you've been wondering what's wrong with you. The truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. You're going through something that so many other people are going through as well. But just like David said to God, "God, you know my heart, you know my thoughts, and you know what I'm going through." And I still believe that God is the one that can ultimately get us through this. But let me give you 4 things quickly that have helped me through this season of languishing. Number 1, identify what you're feeling. Number 2, spend more time with God than ever before. Number 3, find something new that gives you some oxygen. Just something that can take you outside of your regular space, that can give you a little bit of oxygen. And number 4, take a lot of shorter breaks this year. Hey, David was confident when he wrote to his God saying, "You know me, you know my anxious thoughts, and you know the way everlasting." God bless.